got it done. We got it done right away. Ain't no playing with this man. We got it done.
Thank you to Steven, to Harold, to Ray, to Sheila. We worked our butt off. We got it done.
We got it done.
You can do anything you put your mind to.
We got it done.
My name is Tony Taveras, Classic Physique IFBB Pro competitor. I want to invite you along as I go back over the last year of my fitness journey in bodybuilding. Some would think that I have accomplished quite a bit already, yet I've only been competing for a year and a half. But this is just the beginning. I want to share with you a few of my experiences thus far, but before I do, I want to stress the importance of teamwork. I know I eventually end up on stage by myself along with the other competitors, but it's definitely not possible without my A-team. Success I've achieved so far could not have happened without each of them at the top of their game. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Just the beginning.
I've been waiting for this one right here. That's all I've been waiting for. To bust your ass. Come on. Patiently wait. Come on. Up, 17, get out! Up, 18, get out! 19, get out! Yeah! You wanna leave my building? You gotta earn the motherfucking right to leave here. What we got?
What is off-season brought us?
Come on. Let's see what we got. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, get up. 4, 5, get up. 6, get up. 7, get up. 8, get up. 9, get up. 10, get up. 11, get up. 12, get up. 13, get up. 14, get up. 15, 5 more. Let's go. 15, 16, let's go. Let's go. My name is Harold Bright. I am the owner of Steel Jungle Fitness, the place where Tony did a lot of his grinding. 751 West Lamar Boulevard in Arlington, Texas. I've been in the fitness industry for about 20 years. I've been in the bodybuilding industry for about 12. I specialize in sports specifics in terms of bigger, stronger, faster. But here lately, within the last 5 to 7 years, I've gotten a niche for muscle activation, muscle stimulation. I was in the gym beating the tar out of one of my clients. And Tony came in to do a posing session with Sheila. And I was being so loud, obnoxious, just basically killing this individual. And Tony kept looking through my window. I have a window in the posing room that looks out onto the floor, and then the people on the floor can look into the posing room. And he kept seeing me brutalize this person. And so his curiosity was piqued. And so after he was done with Sheila, he came out on the floor and he said, maybe we can get in a couple of sessions. And I told him, sure. He came back. After 1 or 2 sessions, he couldn't walk, he couldn't sit down, and I figured that was it. And the dude came back and said, I want to do more sessions. It went from 1 day a week to 2 days a week to 5 days a week. He never quit on you.
No, he never quit on me. No matter how much I brutalized him, he kept coming back for more.
How long have y'all been together? Been working together?
We've been together now exactly 1 year. When I first started working with him, it was after he had just won the Kuklo. And then he had already decided, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and do a national show. And I told him, you're not big enough. And he said, what do you mean by big? I said, you can get conditioned all you want, but you don't have the muscle structure to compete with those big boys. And so that's when he came in here and he said, well, how much weight do you think I need to gain? And I asked him how much he weighed, and at that time I think he weighed barely 198 pounds. And I told him, I said, we need to get you somewhere around a hard 230 in the off season. And he was like, I don't normally get that big. You're not afraid? Are you sure I won't get fat? And I said, you let me do what I do, and you just keep showing up, and I promise you, you'll look totally different. And it won't be fat.
My name is Sheila Brown, and I'm an NPC and national judge, and I'm also one of the promoters for the Battle of Texas. I've been in the fitness industry since 1984. I specialize in posing competitors, prepping them for stage presence, getting ready for the stage.
Okay. And how did you and Tony, how did you get introduced to Tony? How did y'all meet?
I met Tony through his trainer, his nutrition coach, which is Stephen Max. Tony and I have been working together since last year. So Tony has a team, which is, I'm very supportive of. So with this team, which consists of me, Ray Baker, Harold White, and Stephen Max, we're going to get together and talk about what is his next step. He's a new pro, so he's open to be molded and to be coached and taught what he needs to do. So we haven't really come up with a plan yet. We don't know if we want him to do the New York Pro or something local, go to the Arnold. So right now that's really up in the air what his plans are. He's a very hard worker and he's a perfectionist, almost to the point of OCD-ish. So I've worked with people of his caliber, and every person that I've worked with like him have gotten a pro card and they've excelled as a pro athlete. So he's a hard worker, he's a good listener, he's very mature for his age.
This time next year when we're doing another interview, what are we going to be talking about?
We talk about going to the Olympia. We talk about him getting that crown, getting that ring. That's his main goal. That's our main goal. NPC Nationals in Miami is where we went last year. That was his first national show. As one of the judges, I didn't judge his category, but I was right there. There was a unique experience. It was a good learning lesson for him. It was his first time at a national show, so a lot of things that we thought he knew, he didn't know. And so perception is everything.
The ultimate goal was to go in place and get the pro card. We know that didn't happen. Did you get to talk to him right after?
Not right after, but I was ready to talk to him. As soon as he walked off that stage, mentally I was running up behind him and just wringing his neck. But I got a chance to see him and his family at dinner or lunchtime. And I know these judges and I know what they expect of their athletes. And so this is what I preach. I preach respect and sportsmanlike conduct and eye contact and from that day, the day after Miami till Jersey, that was his game plan. So all he thought about was that he was one thing was on his mind, and that was it. So I think that has a lot to do with him getting his pro card because he knew what he had to do. He knew what to expect now. He knew he took the criticism from his team and built a better him, and came back and beat Tony from last year.
Okay.
And he probably feels that he let us down. He never let us down because we knew that you were going to come right back and get it. So I was happy to say welcome to the league. You're going to make us so proud. I cannot wait to see you on the stage. It does my heart good. So congratulations once again.
We do things differently than most, like I've said. So, we like to load up.
Who other people came here with, but you brought your team down. There's a dude right here. Who is this dude? Let's see. It's that dude, Stephen Mass.
The coach, man.
Food chemist.
You make champions.
Food chemist. Tony said somebody asked him what he gonna eat. He said, I don't know. He said, Stephen will tell me what to do, when to do it.
Graciousness. Peeled. Shredded.
Cardio down, training down, and the food goes up. And we get locked and loaded for stage. We're gonna get locked and loaded even a little before weigh-in, so that way we don't have this magical sub 24-hour combat period that is a hit or miss. There's no missing. We're gonna start carving. We already started carving up. We started carving up 4 days out. So, just small manipulations to make weight, and we will 100% be locked and loaded. My name is Stephen Mass. I am an IFBB pro competitor, former competitor, and I coach a lot of athletes now. I have been in the fitness industry 10 years, 11 years, competing for 7 years ago is when I got into the competition world of things. So with the coaching, I specialize mostly in just nutrition coaching, in contest prep. So with the contest prep, generally I'm in control of the nutrition and the cardio side of things. It just basically includes, weekly check-ins and updates to the plans and just monitoring the athlete from the start of the prep all the way into show day. So, funny story, I met Tony through a guy I personal trained over 10 years ago who is now working for Tony, and the story is Tony got interested into the bodybuilding and competition world and wanted to do his first show. So this guy, Kelly, actually referred him to me, told him to contact me because he knew I was in the industry. So from that day, we started work. Tony called me, and this was March of last year, so just over a year ago. We talked on the phone. I was nervous to take him on because he picked the show 8 weeks away. Told him I had to see pictures, how he currently looked, and he was actually in shape, so I took him on, and we ended up winning the overall title at that first show. So he was doing the classic physique division. He won his class, and then he went for the overall title against the rest of the class winners, and he won the overall title. Just got back from New Jersey, competing in the NPC Universe Championships. He won his class, and then he won the overall title against all the other class winners. Based on how we did and the feedback we received, we know that Tony can do well in the next level, the pro level, so we're going to take a little bit of time to just improve. I mean, this was only his third show, and we know how much more we can improve. And so we're going to take some time, and we're going to just build on what we've already built, and just attack the pro stage in early mid 2020. So based on what I've seen, being in the industry for so long, and the potential of competitors, I truly believe Tony has the potential to be one of the top classic IFBB competitors, classic physique competitors. This game the main thing with this game is genetics, and no matter what you do, the genetically superior athletes will rise to the top if they apply themselves and work hard. And Tony's got amazing genetics, phenomenal. I believe it's one of the best complete backs in the game, back to hamstrings. I mean, it's for being only his third show, I think it's going to be one of the best in the game, if not the best. And you apply that with his work ethic, I mean, the sky's the limit, and we're going to find out where that is, come this next year in 2020. Tony, I mean, it's been an honor coaching you through, the very beginning of your journey in this, and the greatest part about it is the friendship we've built, and just sharing each other's lives with each other, and bringing me in to your side of things, and your work, and your profession, and so I mean, one of the things I cherish the most out of this is the friendship we've built, and it's an honor for me to help you rise through the ranks in the bodybuilding world.
And lifting your rib cage, you're leaving everything where it wants to be, and you're breathing exactly how you need that.
Yeah, I know, right? Good last year, man, but your body done changed, dog.
Lifting up the wrong things, and it's going to change your awareness throughout the whole. You have to shift and move. It all starts with those hands. Competitor's favorite classic pose.
I see it, dude.
Most muscular. Stand up. Straight and fall out. Now.
My name is Ray Baker, and my profession is pretty much all around coaching. I enjoy working with athletes, competitors. I also enjoy working with the average person looking to transform their life. I've been in the fitness industry for what feels like about 15 years. It started off in a supplement store where about the second time going in, I started working there. It became a love of mine. I hung out in there all day talking about fitness, talking about ways to build muscle, watching competitors walk in, watching athletes walk in, and it was a dream come true, so much so that I purchased my own supplement store in Dallas. That quickly became 2 supplement stores, which was awesome. I really was everything I asked for the time being, until I realized that my passion was fitness, and sitting inside of a store wasn't fitness for me. So I branched off into working with the athletes that I had started working with while owning a business. Tony and I have been running into each other in the gym for quite some time now. He's always the big guy running over, saying hello, being incredibly motivating. From the very first time that I ever met him, I was almost caught off guard that someone had that kind of intensity. But as we be a little bit more apparent in each other's lives and have a little bit more of an impression on each other. About May 18th, we started working together for posing for the upcoming NPC Universe. We worked with each other for about 6 weeks, seeing each other consistently about twice a week. Once for our individual session, once for a group session I like to put together for all of the athletes. Tony, in my opinion, is like a Les Brown or TD Jakes on the gym floor, where he's getting everyone hyped, making sure everyone has a good vibe going on, that the vibe is good around, and that everyone feels a part of the team and very encouraged. He carried that same mentality into posing, which allowed our posing sessions to be very intense, and that's always exciting, especially as a coach, when the athlete is that driven and that motivated. Our goals coming up are pretty straightforward. We know that Tony's pro debut is going to be shortly after he's able to get started after surgery. We want to make sure surgery is taken care of as best as it can be. Recovery and rehab are taken care of as best as it can be. He's able to use that time to get his metabolism and his body right, and there's not unreasonably high stress during a time that recovery is going on, and I'm sure he's going to take care of all of that. And then once he comes through that, then we have the ability to really set our sights on a longer posing routine and being able to show all Tony's strengths. What you've been able to accomplish in just 3 shows is unbelievable. But I'm sure that you know that you're more than capable of a better outcome in even that. And that's because you're a driven, motivated individual, but also because you understand your potential. And sometimes that can come off a little over the top for some people, but when you are around athletes all day and you learn to see patterns and you learn to study individuals, you can tell that charisma and that attitude towards oneself is very, very hard to find, and it creates champions. And other athletes are going to see what you have and see the charisma that you express, and they're going to feed off of it, and it's going to make it a better sport, and I'm excited to watch that.
Round the seats a little bit, maybe have Sheila come this way. So we're not.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Sheila, come up more.
Sheila, turn, yeah. Just a little. Okay, cool. Yeah. Now you sure you should good side?
You got a fan for it, Gary?
I know.
Damn, you would think the owner of the gym would have some air conditioning. God dang, son.
He is a witness. I turned the AC down.
Specifically for Sheila. If she was coming, let me turn it down now. So, he was looking out for
I'm looking out for big sis.
That dude snuck more stuff in. He was like a gremlin. He would just eat stuff late at night, and then we would talk to him. He would pretend like,
Oh, Steven came in the room.
Too bad.
He saw the rice cakes.
Rice cakes.
Empty rice cakes.
He goes, and you know he's lying when he goes, I'm being honest. I'm being honest. I only had 2 rice cakes and a tablespoon of peanut butter.
The whole bag gone.
But what goes through your head when your show is in 2 days and
Well, because I wasn't able to drink water. So at night I would get up and I'd be hungry.
but what was your
Oh, listen to this reasoning.
What was
Listen
your
to this.
plan though? Did he say you could have 2 rice cakes?
Hell no.
No.
Listen to the reasoning. Listen to the reasoning.
Well, because I was so dehydrated, I needed an ice chip in my mouth at 2 in the morning. I just needed some ice. And he was like, if you're gonna do any water, you better put some carbs in with it. So I would put some ice chips in my mouth and I would eat 2 rice cakes. I listened to the plan. I did not go, I did not want
I
to.
told him stay away from water. If you want to eat, but stay away from water. So his solution was, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and eat this ice chip. Wait, that's water. Let me eat these rice cakes to soak it up. I was like,
That's crazy.
Good
Isn't it
Lord.
crazy how they're the science?
Yeah. Oh, Tony knows his body. Tony knows his body.
Oh yeah, I learned about that.
Tony, he knows his body.
Tony knows
Yeah,
his body.
we're gonna tighten up some things at the pro level even more. So yeah, it was only the 3rd show. We can't get away with all of that in the next one. Nope. It's a new level.
Cowboys chicken.
Cowboy chicken's got to go away. 8 weeks out, cowboy chicken's got to go. But up to 8 weeks out, we can do some cowboy chicken. Yeah, we do some cowboy chicken.
You see how he just kind of told you that? But 8 weeks out.
Yeah, he tried to sell us. We were sitting wait. When we were at the university, we were in New Jersey getting our hair cut. Getting my beard.
Oh, yeah.
He was sitting in the chair, and this fool literally had the nerve to look at me. I had just told him, no water, no water, no water. The guy's talking about shaping and this, that, and the other, and he goes, hey man, y'all got some ice in here? I'm like, I just told you.
Because it's not water.
No, because it's not water.
Yeah.
It's frozen. Yeah.
It'd at least limit the intake, I figure with ice chips. Hey, it worked. We here.
I was telling Gary, like, how did you meet Tony? And I said, I'll never forget, because when Steven sends me somebody, he'll give me the tea on it, like, he'll give me the heads up, like, okay, I got a basket case, I got a head case, I got a head case. He said, I got a good one.
Yeah.
He said, wait till you see him.
Yeah.
And Steven does not sugarcoat anything, so I think that's why we get along. But he said, I got a good one. He's a good one, Sheila. And when I met you, it's hard to believe how young you are, because you can just tell that you got one thing in your mind. And I also learned that you're a perfectionist and you also OCD. Because when I would say, Ray, when I say side chest, he would say, so it's side chest. So what you're saying is this is coming over here, and then I said, it's side chest. So that means the right shoulder is coming back. And
He wants to explain it to you.
He wants to explain that. He details everything. And so that's why I was just so, not everybody would have taken Miami and said, you know what, I'm going to come back and pay my respects and make it right.
Yeah.
And I'm going to not dye my hair the same color as my Lamborghini.
No orange hair, no blonde hair. She told me not to in Miami.
With his grown man this time.
He said, what about blonde? I said, don't do blonde.
Yeah, she told me not to.
Just keep it, and it flowed. Yes. So he's really good with taking constructive criticism, because when we went to the table and talked, and you're like, shoot, I was sworn I was doing this, and you took it, and you like, And I told Gary the day after, the only thing that was in your head was, I gotta go back. I want to do.
I needed about 6 to 8 hours to just. I mean, there was a point.
I don't think I gave you that many hours. I think I came straight to the restaurant.
Yeah.
And I said, yes. Then I found y'all said, where is it? I couldn't, because I wanted to make sure for the night show. But after
that's right, because even in my mind, it was like at first, I didn't even want to get up on stage. I had that thought, right, for a moment, because I was so devastated inside.
I just remember that. We were sitting
and you guys
inside.
all made sure that, hey, no, you got to get on stage, you got to show yourself.
And he just kept eating.
We were sitting, he called me at o'clock that morning, and he goes, man, you just got to come with me, and we got to go to LA Fitness, and I got to sweat some of this off. And I said, sweat what off? He said, I'm not going to lie, I didn't really think about going back, so I just binged all night.
I ate all night long. I drank and ate all night long. It was bad. Yeah, it was not good.
Exactly.
it's just like, oh my God, I've been waiting all these years. And then,
Now, can we talk about the fact that when this man got off stage, he started video recording, he started posting. Now, wait. Yeah, I'm the new IFBB Pro. They ain't announced nothing yet. And it was like, we were like, no, we were running backstage like,
They did
stop
something to
him.
stop. I had to delete that.
I'm a big believer in not messing with that at all. You just wait till
Exactly. And I mean, he posted immediately.
Even if you want to post something, it's about the experience of prejudging. It is not about where I was, what I did, how I felt, what I think happened.
That's a learning
It's just
experience.
the experience of prejudging, and I'm really excited.
And just
Here's a picture, so you can come to your own conclusion.
Right.
Oh shit, looks like Tony's in the center, he's gonna crush everyone. And they thought it all by themselves.
Right.
because you know, even though we had a good feeling, it's like I've seen somebody end up in center after prejudging and not win.
Yes.
And it was like,
So we were running backstage, take it down now, take it down now. He was like, what? Take it down now.
I wouldn't put that. I wouldn't put that right now. Just wait.
Because I've seen people say dead center. Because I've seen dead center not win.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and so you just kind of like, you know, we hope to get, you know, this because
That's a learning experience for me there for sure.
And at the national shows, sometimes Steve or Sandy, like it'll be you in the center, and then switch with Ray, and then he'll leave it like that, although he still wants you to win.
Yeah.
So
I've had a center get third. And we were going into it, we're like first or second. Fucking we get to finals, they call it out, we're like,
but you were right there.
and we that whole time is like, oh my god, we got it. And that is a
Because this is the social media age, and we have to understand the same way we use social media. Just because they are judges and so on and so forth, that doesn't mean they're immune. They're reading the same things we're reading. So we wanted to wring your neck.
Yeah, you don't want to count your chickens.
But I understand you being so excited because it's like, what a big difference from last year.
And he would go,
And then you got your entourage.
You know I cried. I mean, it was like that Will Smith moment, Pursuit of Happiness. Oh, I had a little tears. You know that moment in Pursuit of Happiness where he's just like this, just tears streaming out.
he was so breaking. He just
It was so special.
I know, right?
Oh, it felt amazing. Yeah.
So what is it? What's next then?
I think what's next is, you know, if we can get an opportunity to go to the Arnold, I think that would be a dream come true. I think really when I thought about classic physique and I was introduced to bodybuilding, you know, Arnold was always the guy I would look up to. That was the first guy I would think about when I think classic physique and I watch old school golden age videos. I mean, he was so special to watch how he would captivate the crowd and just how everyone was just going crazy over him. So, you know, I went to the Arnold this last year with Harold actually, and just to watch the show and the production and how they put it on, it was just unbelievable. It, like, to be up there on that stage with that production would be a dream come true. So if I was able to get the opportunity to do my pro debut there, I would make sure I bring everything to make it count. So that would be the goal. If not, then we would do the Pittsburgh or the New York Pro.
Because all three of those shows are equally prestigious. You know, the Arnold has its own thing, but then going to the president of the NBC, his show, Pittsburgh Pro, you know, and was he there? Did he give you a trophy?
JM was there. Yeah, Jim was there too.
So
Jim was there.
So just shaking their hand and saying, I'm going to come to your show. So the Arnold, the New York Pro, Pittsburgh Pro, those are all just really good shows.
I think genetically, I think we're working with a lot to stand next to the best guys in the game.
Like I said earlier, it was about redemption because we know where we made the mistake. And I look at it like this. We made the mistake and you counted us out. And for us, the best thing that happened for us was that you made the mistake. Because once you made the mistake, that gave us an opportunity to band together. And it's like, okay, the one thing you do not want when you mess with this team is you don't want us to make a mistake. Because I promise you, when we make a mistake, we coming back 10 times harder than the first time. So please let us just go ahead and do our thing. But when we make the mistake, you better, you know, it better be white knuckles because you know what's coming next.
And I think if we would have won that show in Miami, I think that would have actually hurt my potential in a way, so to speak, because I wouldn't have learned those lessons.
Because you would have jumped on the pro stage
and I would have not been prepared.
You know what was done? Steve, the head judge of Olympia, tells you you're ready. You know, you won this show, you're ready to step on stage. You know.
So in your head, are you already thinking how you're going to present this when he does the Arnold? We're gonna just speak into existence that he's gonna do the Arnold.
And I mean, I gotta say that, you know, at Destination, you know, what you do, what we call it the bakery now, when we have so many classic physique competitors posing at the same time, that really helped me be comfortable on stage and not be afraid of the lights, because we would go 90 minutes at a time, posing straight, competing against each other, putting on music, and randomly going up in front of 20 people in the room and just flowing to a song that we didn't even know.
Everyone's trying to outdo one another, but they also understand that everyone's learning to be comfortable at the same time.
You have amateurs and new guys getting to pose next to pros in the same room.
Yeah,
You know,
that was big. That was big. I mean,
It's one of the beauties I find about that class is you're able to watch somebody and go, you know what, like I have a difficulty moving that direction, and he moves that direction extremely well. Let me see how that looks on me. There's no reason that we need to get locked into one character. When we're on that stage, you're adopting a different character. You're posing like you want to be presented, not how you see yourself, and that transforms you into a new athlete or champion.
The thing that, you know, besides the physique shines on stage is you know who came prepared to presentation.
Yeah.
And you know who put the hours in or focused more on the physique and less on the presentation. So I think I mean, obviously it should always be judged on the criteria of the total package, the physique, the presentation, and when you see someone that practiced it and presented it perfectly, it's, you know, that's what the sport's about.
first, when I first started in the sport, maybe in my mind I'm thinking it's all about the physique, it's all about lifting weight, it's all about putting on muscle, right? And then, you know, as you learn over this last year, as I learned, it's like, it is so much about that presentation. Where you were telling me your presentation to the judges, you know, pre-judging, you gotta be smiling, you gotta be winning them over, you gotta be presenting something they like, and you gotta be looking at them all.
Or like, you know, eventually you gotta get to the point where you're able to freestyle. And so then you're able to do these classes and work with Ray and start getting way more comfortable with, you know, what is it? Modified. Where you're able just to, you know, hit 5 different back poses.
Yeah. It's funny, when you think back, it was just 15 months ago that I stood in here in my first posing session with Sheila.
It was hilarious.
Oh my goodness gracious! I stood in here with Sheila, and she'll tell you.
I still have pictures of that too.
I mean, I think in her mind she had to have thought this guy's gonna be helpless. This guy's gonna be helpless. I mean, I couldn't spread my lats. I mean, she was like, spread your lats, spread your lats, spread your lats for an hour. I couldn't even do the mandatory poses. You want to talk a little bit about that?
The hardest.
Tony can present his back to, you know, that's a strong point.
Right.
That's the most dominant feature.
Exactly.
We're bringing the best back, you know, to the stage now.
Yes.
And even in New Jersey, like the overall pose out, you can hear it in the video. You know, between the top 4 guys, they say back double bicep. All 3, Tony's taking his time whenever he calls. He's the last person.
Every time, I'm last. Every time.
I feel like he was leading that.
Yeah, so many setups. I mean, I had so many variations. I was just, every time they would get into a pose, and I would just give them a couple.
I started 2 steps when you get
But
they
they
back
do.
by step, you can do like this.
Yeah.
I said, oh, look at he's doing it. Look at he's doing it.
So by this point, by the overall, the crowd knew what his physique looked like.
Yeah.
Right.
So they're just waiting now for this back double bicep comparison. And
never
so
happened.
the 3 guys hit theirs, and then Tony sets up, and then when he goes into it, you just start hearing.
You didn't hear the claps. You didn't hear the claps until he put his arms down and boom.
Yeah.
Because
So, I mean,
you watch the first guy, you watch the second guy, and it was like crickets. You watch the third guy, who was the bigger guy, and then you like, okay, well nobody's really interesting. And then when he hit his, you hear the claps, and it's like, okay,
and it's
now
not taking anything
we
away from
know.
Those guys all won their pro card.
Yes.
They were all the first places in their class, but it was just, it it's again like this is a genetic sport, and when you can bring, if you look at the best classic guys, they have the guys that win the big shows have the best backs, and that's what we bring to the table. So
we're only going to get better.
And it was just to be able to see that when you see such a dominant muscle group in comparison of the best in the show, like that, the crowd appreciates it,
Right.
and then you got that feedback from the crowd. They clapped.
It was a good show.
Yeah,
It was a good show.
We spoke about you being able to incorporate those natural movements and lead up into those poses and establish the time that people were going to be on the line.
Mm-hmm.
So they were going to set, okay, what we're doing, watching this pose, and all right, Tony's finished now. Okay, next pose.
Yeah.
And you could see that as long as everything was moving correctly, we controlled the time.
We controlled the time.
That's
Yep,
awesome.
that's true.
So-
Because every time we would then finish, then they would say the next pose.
So you could see where focus was during the comparison.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which is a good thing.
And
Otherwise, they would have rushed through it
Yeah.
because he would have gone to the next
That
pose.
second, third person, if something like that is being forced and you're not the best person in the line, you're getting skipped, and then you're not even able to present yourself. So we worked very hard in being able to create movements that every movement looked like you were doing something, and that causes the person to watch and go, it still looks good, still looks good, there's the back pose. Next, rather than random movements or just standing there and being the last person in your back pose.
Yeah.
You started moving the second they called the pose, so there was no arrogance in pose. It was just more so, this is how
Just my transition.
This is how I've programmed getting into this, and everything looks good.
except for when they said back double bicep, and Tony looks at the judges and goes.
I go, yeah. This is the one they want.
Yeah. I think at one point they go side chest and he stuck his tongue out. Then he goes into that and then back double bicep.
We didn't plan on that. We didn't plan on the tongue out.
What was with the shimmy? That's the still.
I mean, that little shimmy.
Just shimmy.
That's to get my abs out. You know what I mean? Do a little shimmy shake. Yeah. I like doing that whenever we're doing the abdominal thigh. I like doing that little.
So like,
Getting those shoulders.
the one thing though is like, obviously we're like learning to smile in the show, right? But Tony walked out, and the one thing is like, you can smile all day. Most of the people on the stage are gonna go and try to smile. It's part of the deal, right? It's what you're taught and learn and try to connect with the judges. But Tony like commanded the stage when he got out there. There was a different vibe. It wasn't just going up and smiling and going through your routines and smiling like you practice. It was just like commanding the stage, bringing the stage presence, and it shined. You gotta have the physique also to match with it, but it shined above everybody else, and that's what, once it's almost like you're commanding the judge's eyes to be locked on you.
Yeah.
So they're watching you, and that's why you got moved to the center, and that's why you held down the spot. Then you have the posing and the physique to hold down that position. But they wanted to see you out there, and the crowd wanted to see you out there, and that's why you got that feedback from everybody. So it was a pretty cool experience.
It's awesome. I want to give a breakdown of, kind of how this all came together. We call it kind of the A-team. How this all came about, we're all, I feel great in our own respects of what we do. And, first off, I started working with Steven. He works on my nutrition. Over this last year, he's dialed me in with my nutrition for the last 3 shows, really giving me an understanding of my body and what to put in it and macros. And, now I truly have an understanding of what carbs do, what protein does, what fat does, how to understand peak week. So, he's the nutritionist behind everything. After my first show, I started working with Harold Bright here. He's my strength and conditioning coach, and he really helped me put on the size and the muscle that we needed to bring what we needed to bring to Universe to get the pro card. If I didn't put on that muscle, there's no way we would have had the physique to be able to win and do what we did. So, we had many hours grinding it out in the gym. Special moments, hard moments where, he's got me dying on leg days, and, so we got tons of hours together in the gym, which, was pretty special to me. And it was awesome to have them both there at Universe with me when we got that trophy, the overall trophy. Sheila Brown over here, was the first coach that I ever got with to even learn how to do the basics and fundamentals of posing. You know, it was my first posing class I ever did was with Sheila. So, you know, over the last year I've worked with Sheila. She's given me advice. She gave me the foundation of posing, of how to understand all the mandatories, how to understand what the judges are looking for. And I would consider her in the group, you know, in essence, my master advisor, to have, you know, a female perspective from our group to be able to give us different ideas and to allow us to understand how to attack the next show the proper way. You know, I think she brings so much to the table with all of her years of experience working with so many great bodybuilders. So to have her a part of the team is pretty special because I respect her and value her.
So, you know, I saw Ray working with a lot of classic physique pros that were winning, such as Courage, you know, who's right here in the Dallas area. I saw him at the Arnold. I saw what you guys did. I saw you there as his coach. I saw how you were treating him. And those things were very noticeable to me. And I was like, man, this guy's doing something well, something right. You know, so I got with Ray 8 weeks out in the universe to get an understanding of what they were doing with their flow and their posing, because I really liked what you guys were doing and how you guys were presenting. So Ray and I worked together individually to really get an understanding of my body and what felt comfortable for me on the stage in terms of my flow. And I joined some of his posing clinics, and I really think he's great at what he does as a coach. You know, I know he also does nutrition, he does posing, he does it all. But, you know, in this group, he's really my guy to individually work with my body and what feels good for me on stage. So, you know, I truly feel like we have something very, very special here with each one of us playing an intricate role to the success of the team. And I think we're going to do some great things in 2020. But I think now, you know, when we look forward to 2020, you know, obviously some people know now that I'm actually having surgery tomorrow, you know, hernia surgery, you know, so I actually, during this prep, many people wouldn't have known, we had a sports hernia 10 weeks out, you know, tears in my groin, which we did it right here on the vertical leg press. You know, we were going through a great leg workout. This was 10 weeks out. We hit a bunch of quads and hands. We hit squats. I was feeling great. We jumped over to the vertical leg press on a weight that I typically was doing just fine. We had 300-something pounds on there.
That's how it happens
We were just doing high reps.
Lose that focus for a split second.
I thought he punched me in the groin. I was like, Harold, did you just punch me in the groin? I mean, I heard a pop in my groin. This was 10 weeks out. And I was scared at the time because I thought I tore my groin. And I looked at him and I said, did you punch me? And he was like, no, I didn't punch you. And I could barely walk after that session. And it took 6 weeks to even get that back to feeling well. And then at that point, when that was feeling well, I was in here again doing cardio on the bike and just going at it. I come off and all of a sudden I see a protrusion in my abdomen. And I noticed there was a hole in my abdomen that just opened up, and it must have been weak. And I had an umbilical hernia occur. So it was like the 10 weeks during the prep, we couldn't even squat heavy. I couldn't even do abs the right way. We couldn't even work out the way we wanted to. We just had to land the plane good enough to win universe. So for me, that tells me not only we get 10 more pounds at the pro level, but now I'm being careful and making sure I'm not injured during the last ends of the prep, of my pro prep. I think our potential is so great.
Dangerous.
It's dangerous. So, you know, the plan obviously is now to put on that muscle during the off season, and then we're going to attack our first pro show here in the spring, come April, May, is the game plan.
We're not just showing up to compete.
Nope. Have we ever
Showing up just for showing up to win. Make a statement on the pro stage.
Yep. I think that's cool that we can, I want to be able to come up with creative ideas from the group. Like, hey, if we got an idea, if that's what's nice about all of us checking our egos at the door, that we're all able to listen to creative ideas. And if Steven says, hey, I think we should go this route. If Sheila says, hey, I think that's not a good plan, I think we need to go each other, figure out what's the best thing for the team, what's the best.
A common ground.
Especially we talked about a little bit earlier when I got off the stage for prejudging, I said to them, I was like, hey, I'm good, we got the pro card. I was ecstatic, and if you guys didn't rein me in and say, the job isn't complete, we need to go get the overall, you know, I was like, okay, I need a little bit of rest, I need 2 or 3 hours to calm my emotions down, and just take a breather, take a nap, and then when I got up and went to Steven's room, then all of a sudden we got hype. You know, I had them in there just getting the hype, and we started just running around the room, posing, had music going, and then I got pumped up. But I think that's the importance of having a team. I think a lot of people may come into this sport and think it's just an individual sport, but there's no way I could have accomplished what I accomplished and got the overall trophy and got my pro card within 3 shows if I didn't have every one of these team members here with me throughout the process. There's no way I would have got it done in 3 shows. So, you know, I thank Ray, I thank Steven and Harold and Sheila for what they've done for me over the last year.
It was an awakening for me, personally, when we were backstage and Steven was making, you know, whatever concoction that His Highness wanted at that time. Steven was back there like Chef Boyardee. You know, and I was shocked at how many people were by themselves. And they were looking at us like, why are they making such a big deal over this dude? And it's like, shouldn't you have somebody doing this for you? You know, it's a team.
Yeah.
You didn't get here by yourself.
Yeah, that was eye-opening to me. There's a lot of people standing by themselves.
Watching
us. I had them right there with me, helping me every step.
We learned a formula.
Yeah.
It's not a finished formula, but we're learning the formula and things that we know we'll continue to do and just add on to.
Yeah, we're gonna build on this one. And I tell you, we're gonna be scared. We're gonna be scared. Like you just said, we're not, you know, I'm not in this thing, I don't do things just to be average.
No.
And everything I've ever done in my life, you know, I do things to go be the best at it. Like if I'm gonna go attack this sport, my goal is to be at the Arnold, my goal is to be at the Olympia, my goal is to be considered one of the top classic physique competitors in the world. And that's gonna take hard work. And we're gonna have to work our ass off over the next year. And I'm prepared for that. And I want them to know, we come.